All right. Morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays. Our markets are open and we're going to jump right into it. I hope this year is starting off well for people because the political environment's not yet any easier. All right, let's go to the charts. Try to keep it politics free, at least for the beginning of the show while we're talking trading. And I also might be launching a political show sometime this year. It will certainly not be on YouTube. It would be on an alternative platform. All right. Also, potentially getting off Twitter one day. I mean, it's probably coming. Okay. Monthly chart. The monthly chart, I don't know if does this line look straight to you guys? Doesn't look all that straight to me. A little better. I think that's straight. Okay. So here's our triangle on the long-term scale. Potentially selfish way, I would like for this triangle to actually resolve like in June. And there is a bit of a reason for that. One of the reasons is by this triangle continuing to fluctuate between $45,000 and $60,000 for, say, 4 more months, maybe 5 more months, people will get super frustrated, like super frustrated. They'll buy into Ripple, they'll buy into so many scams. And then when Bitcoin actually takes off, that shit is going to implode, okay? Or people may just quit the space altogether. And once again, Bitcoin goes up without them, and they're all going to FOMO in. These long-term triangles tend to really resolve violently. We have not had many of these long-term triangles. There was another one right here. Was talking about it back in the day. This one. It would have to be green, of course. It's hard for me to go down one more candle, so it has to be off of this candle. And this, of course, will have to be green. You know what? I'll do it green after, because there's another one here that is red. Like we can probably do it right from the top. Like that. It even went back into the triangle, but eventually broke down. Trying not to break any of the bodies here, but still touch the bottoms of the candles. Okay, so something like this. So this stays red, and this goes green. Remember, this is a monthly chart. These are long-term pictures here, okay? And then there wasn't much after that. It was pretty much straight up, not too many of these triangles, okay? You can potentially draw another one here, but it's not as clean or elegant. We can certainly draw one right there. Here's another bullish triangle. Remember, we don't want to break any bodies, just like that. That's pretty clean. Okay. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what they have in common. This one has 5, maybe 5.5 before it breaks. This one clearly has way more than 5 months before it breaks down. This one, oh, almost skipped that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months before it breaks out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months before it breaks down. Straighten that line out a little bit. And now we are in quite a big one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're already 10 months in. Okay. This could be the longest one we've had because this one, which one? This one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, and this now gets a little bit weird, right? So 10 has been pretty much the max. We're already on 10. It's going to take at least a couple of months before this thing breaks out. This could be the biggest triangle in Bitcoin's history, which means that it's going to be a violent breakout to the upside. And I do expect it to be to the upside, not the downside. I would be very surprised if it's to the downside. So expect a monster move. I mean, this is from 30,000 to 60,000, doubling in price. We can use absolute values, which is about $35,000, or we can even use percentages, right? And now we go up 100%. And that's going to be a push within a few months from 60,000 all the way to 120. Okay. If I had to choose which one is actually more likely, here's the answer. The later in time we break out, the closer to July we break out, the more likely we have the percentage scenario of going straight up to 120 in a matter of months than the absolute value scenario of only going up, $30,000 in a matter of months. Okay. The sooner we break out, the more likely we are to not go as high. So extended consolidation leads to a significant reward. Okay. Let's go to the weekly chart. The weekly chart is on the edge of giving us an MRI buy. We are halfway through the week. Today is Wednesday, and well, we're almost halfway through the week. So next week is an MRI buy, but I'm not a fan of this structure. I'm not a fan of the structure. I don't like consolidations at the bottom. They tend to lead to a little bit of downside. But downside from here endangers the triangle. So we are in a bit of a dilemma right now. 4-day chart. The 4-day chart is our consensual position chart of allocation. And as much as I would love to allocate 20 to 25% to Bitcoin here, I cannot. But what I can do is drop the breakout level to the prior candle's high. Unfortunately, the current candle is only a few hours in. And that is problematic. I need this candle to be at least more than halfway through in terms of time in order for me to trust that it's not going to break down all the way. So we're going to leave our breakout level where it was at $48,000. And then perhaps next week, we will be able to lower the entry level, but it would be on a very short leash where we're entering it a little prematurely, but ready to cut it back to zero allocation at first sign of trouble. Okay. For now, we hold the cash position. Hey guys, come out to Unconfiscatable, an awesome Bitcoin conference taking place in Las Vegas. This conference always takes place in Las Vegas due to the poker tournament. If you click on a poker tournament, we've updated the site a little bit, and you get to watch a cool little short video of highlights from last year's 2020s, right before COVID destroyed the world with economic lockdowns, our tournament, right? Very, very fun. So come and join us in Las Vegas. Right, you can register for it right there. Poker is completely separate. And there it is. There's Bobby Lee, friend Jim, my shitcoin minimalist hat. It was awesome. All right, guys. Come join us. Don't forget the carnivory dinner as well. Okay. Daily chart. Daily chart is in a bit of trouble. We had a red star candle yesterday activating a potential short position according to the MRI on the daily scale. We have rallied a little bit today. But look, for the past that's usually right, that 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5. For the 5th consecutive day, we are making a new lower daily high. That is a bad sign. And by the way, all the trolls that kept laughing at me that Vays sold the bottom aren't laughing anymore. They've all disappeared for the last 2 weeks, right? Right after this candle. All those comments in the YouTube that sold the bottom again, they're gone, okay? These people aren't traders. These people are just trolls that can't stop watching this channel because I'm generally right. I'm more right than I am wrong. That's for damn sure. Luca, thank you for the super chat. Tone, what do you think about the 50-week moving average? Well, I have the 50-week moving average. My 50-week moving average is right there. That's the 50-week moving average, right there, right? And the 7 is now crossing here. So what I think Bitcoin is in a little bit of trouble if this week cannot get back above or even touch the 50-week moving average. It looks bad. But the higher level picture of this triangle should keep us on life support for a breakout. But I'm not a fan of the 50. And if we go down any further, I'm going to drop the 7 period because it's not really useful. Well, right now, the 20 period is totally not useful at all. Like, the 20 period is totally not useful. So I can make that 200. You know, the 200-week moving average has been very critical and very significant. We can hit it again. It's possible. It is absolutely possible. And it would be a beautiful pullback. If we delay, I really thought we can hit the $20,000 area back in August, but we didn't. I don't think it can go this long, but anything is possible. My opinion doesn't actually matter. This is why the responsible position is to be in cash right now and stay patient. All right, shorter term charts. The daily chart needs a couple of more days. You see, we still have the 200-day rising, but you're not going to avoid this depth cross. This 50 period versus a 200 period depth cross is coming. There's almost nothing you can do to avoid it at this point. Every day that ticks away, it gets closer and closer to the depth cross. It's not a pretty depth cross. We had it here. It didn't lead to crazy downside, but it did lead to a few months of downside. And then eventually it broke out where did it break out? That's this. That's the 50 over 200, 50 over 200. I try to avoid that. You gotta try to, that's the 128 day. I like the 128 day. 128 days important. Bad looking chart. Bad looking chart. Short-term scale 4-hour chart, not very useful. It looks like it is tapping out based on moving averages. You got the green star candle, but look at the last green star candle. It did nothing. Look at the time before. It did nothing. Look at the time before. It did a little bit of something, but not really. It was followed by a red star candle. These green star candles on a 4-hour chart have not been very useful. So I'm not going to rely on it whatsoever. And it's not looking good. It looks like we're about to top out and go down the rest of the day. That's what it looks like to me. Pretty bad looking GBTC chart. You know, as GBTC continues to get eaten up by longer term holders, this premium would evaporate once FOMO sets in. Hey guys, the financial summit. Oh, videos. Let's do this again. The financial summit. Check out our little 30-second video on the financial summit. This is what it was like in Dubai. It was a great, great event for traders and money managers. And it's more for intermediate traders. If you're a beginner trader, you can still come, but you'll need to do a lot of homework so that you can have better communication with the advanced traders that are there. Really, really awesome event. You can check out details. The next one is in the Dominican Republic. Oil, I remain very bullish on oil. Very bullish on it. I probably should have put in like, you know what, why am I sitting in cash waiting on Bitcoin? You can just go long oil instead. But I'm not that kind of a trader at the moment. But if I was allocating a portfolio, my portfolio, I mean, oil is one of the most bullish assets I see right now based on chart. We recall this top perfectly. And we're probably gonna very likely to just break it by a lot. This is very, very bullish looking chart. Gold, not bullish until we break the 1875 area. And the S&P 500 is very bullish in this consolidation. When it breaks out, might take Bitcoin with it. Key term there is might. Weekly chart, as you guys know, I am expecting a hyperbolic move on the S&P at some point in the not too distant future, right in time for the potential collapse of the dollar and the breakup of the union. I do not see the United States as a single country after the year 2030. Still have a long way to go. Got 8 years, but the divide between Democrats and Republicans, the vaccinated versus unvaccinated, skin color, heterosexual versus the other 48 different genders. These divides are only growing. They're only growing. And they're growing into violence, unfortunately. And that is why I see a huge jump in the S&P 500 before the imminent demise. It would be mostly caused by inflation and distrust in government being able to stay together would force all the money to go into companies, and then many of these companies would actually be stateless. This is going to be a very interesting economic phenomenon, whereas Bitcoin, and I specifically mean Bitcoin, not crypto, as Bitcoin continues to provide this unconfiscatability and this censorship resistance, you will see that many companies, in order for them to survive, they will have to become stateless. And they may have to earn the trust of the people by being stateless. See, right now, no one trusts Google. No one trusts Apple. No one trusts Microsoft. No one trusts these companies because, in a way, they are spy machines for the United States government. In China, it's the opposite, right? It's they don't trust them because they're spy machines for the Chinese Communist Party. So, in order for these companies to survive, they may have to go stateless. And it's amazing that people have not yet figured out that you can go stateless as a company because you no longer need a bank account. You can now use Bitcoin. And eventually, these companies will figure it out. And if not, companies that do figure it out will eventually take over. but it will take a while. It will take a long while. I'm not worried about Ethereum taking over Bitcoin because Ethereum can't scale. So Ethereum is not going to be the backbone of your new decentralized Uber. Just can't happen. We will be in a situation where Bitcoin goes to 10 million, but beef becomes $200 a pound. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's very possible. But $200 a pound could also be your hourly salary, right? Like in an inflationary world. $200 a pound in today's market is also possible. Remember, these elites, right, that are pushing oil prices to be $200 a barrel so that you don't drive and hurt the environment, they all eat meat. They just don't want you to eat meat. The item, 60% of the menus at that Save Global Warming anti, oil and anti-meat event by the elites, 60% of their menus was meat, okay? While they talk about why the world shouldn't eat meat, but all they did was eat meat. These guys can afford $200 a pound of meat. So just like they can afford a $300 a barrel oil, it doesn't affect them. They can still fly their private jets at any price of oil. They can afford meat at any price. But the more expensive it is for you, the more unhealthy you will be, and the longer they will live versus you. Yeah, you're not getting free energy. It's nothing free. You're getting free energy at a cost, right? You'll get free energy the same way, back in the days, slaves used to get free shelter. It's nothing free, guys. It's nothing free. All right, I want to take a peek at NVIDIA. I was very critical of NVIDIA yesterday. Today is the big CES event, and it's not looking better for NVIDIA. NVIDIA chart looks horrendous. Here's the daily chart. You are still in a bearish MRI count. You're coming off a monthly top. You're coming into a yearly top. And the only one that's missing is, of course, the weekly. And the weekly is bearish. And if the weekly crosses below this area, it becomes a bit disastrous. Now, it can also recover like Tesla recovered. Here's the disastrous breakdown of Tesla. And then it made it all the way to the prior swing high and then bounced strong. Okay, so if we go back to NVIDIA, where's the prior swing high? There isn't one. That's a problem. That's a problem, guys. This looks like a hyperwave to me. I don't know about you, but this is like a hyperwave to me. Oh, and people have been asking, where is Bitcoin on the hyperwave chart? We can take a look. It's potentially in phase 2 of a very large hyperwave. Very large hyperwave. Now, this line might need to be adjusted a bit. Okay. We have to, this is the same triangle, right? This line has a little bit of wiggle room to be adjusted, but we can't really go much lower. We need to bounce up in order to maintain this phase 2. But this NVIDIA, stop. That could have been phase 4, people. That could have been phase 4. This could have been phase 2. That was phase 3, and that could have been phase 4. I'm not very big on NVIDIA right now. Not very high on NVIDIA. And Tilray was the one I want to take a look at. Tilray is a potentially beautiful buy. I'm really liking this Tilray chart. So the daily chart is just consolidating. I'm not sure how much lower it can go. You got earnings coming up in a week. I don't like the daily chart. I don't like the weekly chart. But I love the monthly chart. Absolutely love this monthly chart. Like, this is one of those situations where there's very little risk. But look at the potential gain. On a weekly scale, it did really well bouncing off these lows at $5 and went all the way to 70. This was earlier this year. It's 70. And now it's under $7. That's a nice chart. Nice chart. Apple. Apple's been our biggest company so far, and it's still looking bullish. All right, guys. I'm going to need to get going. Oh, Square. Square. Square is now blocked. That's interesting. That is really interesting. I am a little surprised. I'm a little surprised. With Jack Dorsey leaving Twitter, speaking of which, how's Twitter doing? How's Uber doing? Oh, JMIA, that's another one. That's another potential gem, right? I don't like the weekly. I don't like the daily. But I love the monthly. I love the monthly. Look at the monthly. Top, bottom, top. $11. This thing was also 70 earlier this year. Twitter. One last stock and then we're going to call today. Yep, like I said, Twitter was a terrible buy after Dorsey's departure. Terrible buy after Dorsey's departure. I can't believe Cathie Wood of ARK bought into Twitter. I can't believe that. It's dumbfounding. I mean, the MRI daily here saved it for 4 candles, but that was it. Like, here's the weekly MRI buy, and that couldn't even save it. You guys see how bad this chart looks? Actually, it looks very much like Square, except this has gone below the prior swing highs. I think Twitter might be done. I mean, look, Trump saved Twitter. Trump saved Twitter. Twitter was on the verge of going bankrupt right here, right there. And then Trump uses it to get elected. And then they remove Trump. When they removed Trump at the end of 2020, right before around here, then the initial move is up because, again, people are stupid and don't realize that Trump was the one that put Twitter on the map, and now he's gone. And here's Jack Dorsey leaving, and Twitter is a terrible buy. Surprised at Square. Very surprised. Maybe he just got overheated a little bit with Bitcoin. I would love to see Square go to $100, and that would be a beautiful buying opportunity. Beautiful buying. That's a 66% drop in a company that holds Bitcoin. Look at this. It's already fell 50%. So it would be a 60% drop. 66% drop. That would be incredible. For now, I'd stay away from it. But definitely keep an eye on. Oh, okay. Last thing I'm going to look at is the Bitcoin's dominance chart, which is it BTC.D? Or is that the market cap? No, dominance. We have to look at it on a long-term scale. So Bitcoin dominance, we don't need moving averages. Well, MRI, no, the other way around. And I like looking at it as a line chart. So Bitcoin dominance looks bad. Bitcoin dominance can go to 2%, right? It doesn't really matter much because Bitcoin will continue to dominate each individual scam. We could also jump over to market cap stuff. I think this. Hey guys, if you want to support, go to tonevays.com. You have the affiliate page. You have a free learn trading section. You have my workshops. Nope, actually, I'm not doing those at the moment. You have my on-demand videos, and you have my MRI indicator. So the shitcoin market cap, I'm kind of curious where Litecoin and Monero are. So I'm waiting for Litecoin to fall out of the top 100, which it will. And Monero as well. Monero is down to 47. It's up lower than before. Keeps dropping, right? It keeps dropping. It'll fall out of the top 100 eventually. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, guys. So BSV is down to 71. Where's B-Trash? There it is, number 26. And yeah, all of these are going to fall out. What is their price versus Bitcoin? Like, that's what you kind of want to see, right? Like versus Bitcoin, these scams are going to be really, really bad. Look, it's less than 1% again. Okay. And they have no security. The problem is that these coins, the ones that are mineable, the ones that require proof of work, like Litecoin and B-Trash and Monero and BSV, anything else that has mining, their mining structure fails when the price goes down far enough. And people still don't comprehend that, right? This is why Doge mining failed, and they now get merge mined with Litecoin. Now, what happens when Litecoin's mining fails? They'll have to merge mine with a better coin. Eventually, everything will get merge mined with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin becomes the only real security there is. There's no free trial for MRI. There's a free trial for the MRI alert service, which I haven't really shown today because this video is lasting too long. Yeah, there's a free trial for the alert service. I'll show you guys the alert service if you want to log in without screen share. And then we're going to end it. Also, hey guys, unconfiscatable. Come join us in Las Vegas or in the Dominican Republic for the financial center if you want to get out of the bubble due to government shutdown of everything. And make sure you watch the mass psychosis video. It's linked in my video description. Now, this is a more animated version. You can find this on YouTube and Academy of Ideas YouTube channel. Academy of Ideas, they have a YouTube channel. The video just is not animated. it's a must watch. There's a link in the video description. Okay. And this is the alert service. This has a free trial. So go ahead and check that out. You can make your own portfolios. We can look at Trump's company, see that it's neutral and potentially ready to go up soon. Vays assets. Tesla is bullish across the board. There it is. And waiting for Tilray and JMIA to start reversing. Well, there is a bottom on a monthly here. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.